Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I want to just give a special welcome to all of our tribal members who have traveled here to be with us today. Your voices are so valuable, and I've been able to spend a lot of times with the Southern Utes and the Ute Mountain Utes in Colorado. And now we have Congressman Jeff Hurd, who is chairman of the Indian and Insular Affairs Committee, subcommittee, and hopefully we'll be welcoming you all for many hearings. We certainly cherish your rich heritage and want to uphold your sovereignty and work with you at every level. It is always such an honor to have conversations where we are working as a unit to solve problems, and for your communities who are certainly a big part of this nation's history. So with our witnesses here, I'm certainly excited also to delve into the challenges faced by BIE schools and push for more accountability and better resource allocation to ensure safe learning environments for our Native American students. Ms. Emery Aras, I want to say that correctly.
Aris,
yes ma'am, thank you. And in your testimony, you mentioned that the Government Accountability Office found nearly half of COVID spending that was made with purchase of purchase of cards at the Bureau involved transactions at elevated risk for fraud and misuse. And I believe you mentioned also that $13.8 million in unallowable spending at 24 schools and one school that was transferred, that transferred $1.2 million of federal funds to an offshore account. What recommendations would you make for GAO, or what recommendations have been made to the Bureau?
we've made multiple recommendations over the years to tighten controls over school spending. And you're right, we are very concerned about the credit card purchases that were flagged for risk, but then never investigated. There were purchases involving PayPal, Venmo, $2,000 in gift cards at an electronics store, you name it. And those were flagged as risky, but no one checked to see what was going on. We have recommendations to BIE to actually use existing software that it has to investigate those charges and determine whether they are in fact fraudulent.
Yes, so I mean, obviously with this improper use of federal funds, we want to make sure that that doesn't happen again. And I think that you would agree that that money could have been better spent on outdated facilities, teacher shortages, safety concerns, and inadequate infrastructure impacting tribal controlled schools. Is that correct?
We believe that the federal funds need to be safeguarded from fraud and misuse.
Yes, ma'am. And does GAO plan to work with the Department of Government Efficiency to ensure taxpayer dollars are spent properly at BIE?
We work with every new administration to share information on the programs and operations of the federal government, and we will do the same this time.
Thank you so much. And Ms. Sedney, BIE's mission statement clearly states that the Bureau's goal is to provide quality education opportunities from early childhood through life in accordance with the tribe's needs for cultural and economic well-being. However, several schools are in extreme states of despair, as you're probably going to hear and speak of a lot during your panel time, due to leaking roofs and walls, mold, and signs of asbestos. How are students able to receive a quality education in these conditions?
So we have not looked specifically about how education has been impacted, on the students as a result of these conditions, but I think it's fair to say that we all recognize that the students aren't going to have a good education if they're in these facilities, and that's exactly why we've prioritized this work for the last 10 years.
Yes, and I think test scores would show that there is some sort of impact, and maybe there's a correlation there. I certainly would be distracted if there were leaky roofs in a room. I get distracted when our committee rooms are too cold. Do you think that this is providing an opportunity for our tribal members to explore school choice and have funding go directly towards the parents so they have those resources and are able to choose where their child goes to school and receives their education?
We haven't done an analysis of that issue yet, but we would be happy to talk to your staff about how we could help or provide any, additional information about that.
Yes, just with some of our members here that I've spoke with, I think school choice would be valuable to them, and certainly having those resources follow the student. Thank you.